I would say the biggest mistake that gringos make is to decide by going on some gringo portals or forums or Facebook how much they're going to spend before they even get here. ¿Cómo está? Disculpe, esto ¿cuánto cuesta?
Y la fibra vida,
Ajá.
Ya le veo.
Okay. Very healthy people. Very busy. So yeah, I told her she was higher than everybody else on it, so. It must be my new sunglasses, guys. Yeah, watch out, hon. So yeah, there's no tranvia being built on this road, and I really don't want to be on it because it's really smoggy, just like the old days. But I gotta go, I'm looking for some herbs up here, and the other place was closed, Almuerzo hour. I'm always very elated and happy that I'm in Ecuador and I can get these herbs, medicinal herbs. You know, they're herbs. They're creation. You know, they're given to us by creation, and they're in their natural state. They make you better if you're afflicted with some kind of ailment. So this is a dollar economy, but there was a guy selling pizza with the euro sign on it, which is weird. Maybe he didn't have a dollar sign. I would say the biggest mistake that gringos make is deciding how much they're going to spend before they even get here. Like, oh, I'm willing to spend this much on a rental in this area. And it is a Saturday on December 9th. So it is pretty trafficy.
I'm watching you. Okay.
This park's under construction. Shoe shine. I got my Panama shoes on it. What do you call these? They're little goofy thingy. Bicycle walking.
So we're gonna go to ferry.
Okay, so we're off of the smoggy road, and it's just construction. There's no traffic on it. Oh, they're redoing the whole street. When I talk to the old timers, they tell me the difference of what Ecuador was like back in the 80s, the 70s. Of course, you know, I always enjoy talking about what was it like when the currency crashed in 2000, but I don't want to focus just on that. I've talked to a lot of old timers, and they all say the same thing: life was easier. You know, life was easier. So you have this difference that in 2007 the Ram magazines start pumping this place like there's no tomorrow every couple of months on a variety of relationship news sites they have relationships with, and just all of a sudden this huge influx just changes the place. It's still, even now that, as I said earlier, sure, the city economy's in a flux, maybe things are a bit down now, but still, overall, the trend is internationalizing. And you see it in the doubling and tripling and quadrupling and tenfold price increases in property taxes and laws that compel, you know, mandatory this and that, higher fees and everything. When I first came here, look at all that smog. When I first came here 6 years ago, I got a document apostilled for $5. Now they want 20. That's 400% increase. That's the point, not the $20 bill. So yeah, when I talk to the old timers, it's like, you know, in the movie, what's that movie where the ship sank?
Titanic?
The Titanic, where you have this mature woman, this old timer that's reminiscing. She's like 90 in her 90s, and she's thinking back, you know, flashback. And it's like giving me a flashback when I talk to the old timer, the locals here. They tell me how life was much easier in comparison to today. They tell me how it was cheaper. They actually tell me it was cheaper, even though it was in their currency. It was in their currency, sucre. And we got the same message in Panama when we were talking to the airline attendant behind the desk at the airport, that she said prior to 2000 life was easier. They could have one person working out of the household, out of the family, and support the whole family. And now they have to have multiple people working, and they're scraping by. You know, that's what the locals, the old timers, are saying. But even some of the not so old ones in Panama, and those are two places, both Panama and Ecuador, that got hit by the RAM magazines. And yeah, sure, a lot of people profit off of it. The insiders, they all profit off of it. And some of the locals also happen to, they profit off of it too. But for the most part, in general, for average folk, life just gets harder according to what they are reporting. And it makes sense. You see this, you know, everything just gets more expensive for them too. So yeah, that's why I say things like the biggest mistake foreigners make, they're misguided, is to decide by going on some gringo portals or forums or Facebook how much they're going to spend before they even get here. Well, if I have to spend this much, I can spend this much, you know. Well, you know. So I don't like to have my camera open when I'm shopping. I'm still looking for herbs. Let me shut it down and see if I can get some herbs over here. So I got my herbs, but case in point, and yeah, I was just quoted up the street there for like 1/3 of this packet for the same price. And you know, I just said no. I had to say no, and so I got it for what I know the price to be. So that's what I'm talking about, being a foreigner and reading Facebook and forums and deciding. Can you imagine if I decided on Facebook that this was worth maybe 500% more than it's really worth because that's what other people say? And it's like, no way. So yeah, there's a whole other economy, and I realize that a lot of people, and maybe even most people, will never really participate in that. And that's our little dirty little secret, you know, that's one thing I'll have to give credit to being in Cuenca, is that when you compare it to places, small places like Salinas, and it doesn't really matter which place it is, any small place. It could be Salinas, La Libertad, it could be either side of Cuenca, Gualaceo, Short Leg, Yunguilla Valley, any of those places. Just the lack of availability causes the prices. Even when I visit in these small areas, I notice the prices are twice as much. And you would think, well, it's a smaller town, it's cheaper. So we've got a little bit of a December season going on. We've got these little frilly Christmas tree-ish kind of decorations.
Where's the Christmas tree? They usually put one right here, don't they?
No, I don't remember. Maybe later.